Well, we're going to Kiko. I remember. There's there. Done, 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 done. We won't be able to finish this tonight. We'll be able to finish it like tomorrow. Okay, we probably only have. I don't know how long the trial is, but it can't be that long. We'll probably finish the dialogue tonight, and then it's just a trial. We have like 35 minutes. Larry shows up. I'll push. I'll just still do the 45, 50 minutes I usually do, but. We're just running back and forth waiting for Hangouts to be done. So. I find the less stingy too, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll see him after we finish the game. On that stingy. Yeah, yeah. Maybe still in the tower. Let me send him on the way down. Nope. Possibly like whenever I check, I'm just too far away from it. You never know. But I don't know where it would be at that point. Kiko. How goes it, girl?
Grand Marshal Akiko 14.
Go, boss. Hang out. Got a minute, Kiko. You're going to die, humor me.
Sure.
Why did you hate me so much, Kiko? I thought you were the investigation freak and it's hard to figure out. What's your problem? Is there a soldier versus civvy thing?
I'm a
Is
soldier.
the file complicated? Is file completed? You solved the mystery. Why does it have to be like this? We live in the world, we exist in different planes, we see different things. So that you may sleep at night. You trot about without a care in the world. We all appreciate what you do. If you don't, soldiers are just a necessary evil. Then your lives in service and are discarded when they were not needed. Get some ceremonies and platitudes, and then all my troops perish with the island and start a new
Do you want to
We're done
die?
here. Goodbye, Nanaricho. Come back later.
Nenorocito, touch, Dracului din gură.
Respawning. Henry Division.
What's up, bro? Any joy to be had in these islands? Oh yeah, too much really. What the flip do you think?
Test me.
I'm just trying to get a handle of the island at birth. The crime to end all the crimes. We do our work and pray. Sometimes people go to the bar, sometimes we go to the beach.
Are
You
you,
know that there's
fucking
boat rides.
kidding me?
Boat rides.
Sure.
My
You've been on one?
mind
Yeah, a long
is
time ago. My mom took me.
desert, covered in
Didn't get the
fog.
best seats. I was a problem kid and she was a single mother. We were with Shonda. Made some friends eventually. There was a mahjong club in one of the apartments. She got it with she got in with them. What about you? I found kids to hang out with, not friends though. Just do stuff to take make them laugh. Smash windows, set fire to people, whatever. That's when I started being arrested a lot.
Whatever you
I don't know
fucking
what the fuck
say.
am I doing opening up like this?
Whatever you
Whatever.
fucking say.
You wanna hear something flipping good about something? Who wouldn't tell me? Like you investigator, I think it's not you're onto something. The code for my safe is department is SO394BF9845373BS9. I thought you had a bad memory. Some things just get engraved into it on it. Trust me, I wish they didn't. People people should have minds full of things. They only open a couple of things readily around there. This torture, and then keeping bouncing me off the edges of your consciousness, and it's the gunshot each time.
Key item obtained.
I'll be back with your contents of your safe. that. Maybe it's from that. No, I think I would have seen it though when I was looking around. Maybe. Goal life rules. I did do you. I didn't remember if I did you or not. And obviously I did because I got all the achievements for it. We just need the Senji, and that's it, I believe. I mean, I'll just be like blood crystals. Like what the heck? Proves that it pays to be nice to people sometimes. We'll be hiding in the safe. Great mirror, Majida. Feel like reading the book predates the Great Betrayal, written by a scholar of the esoteric, Majida. She was famed for learning how to communicate with the gods and hold cosmic communes with them.
Got it.
Should be in the restricted vault of the Syndicate's library.
The investigator
Access to the
is
restricted
here.
area a decade ago. You take this. This is the book Henry said he was given. It might prove that his possession was aided. Someone wanted the island to be invaded by demons, but why? Thank you, Henry. Let's go talk to Yuri. After I go talk to you again, Henry. And I can go because I think I'll be done. I can check. They are at 80 and 80. Oh, 60 for Henry. Okay. You go head back. Can I leave through this way? I can. Oh, I need my dinner. Sorry, it's a Pop-Tart. We'll just stand here if it's not done by now. No, we'll do Henry's first too if it is done. Why'd I jump again?
Respawning. Grand Marshal
I'm dumb.
Akiko 14.
Whatever. Got a minute, Kiko. Going to die. You remember me? You still collect war relics? Why do you care? Friendship, Akiko. We've been through this. Fine, yes. Okay, good. Why collect the relics? What's the distraction? Important to remember the past. Our world is shaped by war. Right or wrong, soldiers lay down their lives and fight so you can sleep at night. Forget that and you forget how lucky you are, Nanaricho. Take this as a shell from a demon I killed in Romania before the Syndicate. Thank you, Kiko. I appreciate it. Good, now that we've played this friendship thing out, we're done, right? Done? Yeah, we became friends. You got what you wanted. You can leave me alone now.
Sorry.
That's what you wanted, Kiko. Took too longer than I was hoping. Goodbye. Sure, rulers for war relic obtained. Achievement unlocked. Philosophy of soldier. Petrified shell from a demon that Akiko killed during her campaign against Damned Harmony. Nothing. Oh, Henry.
Nenorocito, you're out of
Sorry, I keep
your
thinking it
mind.
was a great owl, just skipped over it. Move back here, talk to Henry after we talk to Yuri anyway. More than likely. Talk, Henry. When the flip is up with slaughter ritual, citizens don't get to go to the next island. The ritual takes place where the citizens are sacrificed to the gods. Temple becomes awash with blood and psychic energy of the death. It's directed to the gods by the high priestess. Do you think that's really flipped up? I hate it. The worst part of this whole thing. Paper 25 should end it. No more dead islands. But a big flip and load of kidnapped citizens though, right? That's real perfect. Whatever.
Fucking say.
Found the forbidden tome about demonology in your apartment. What are you doing with it? Are you for flipping real? This one big flip and Joe. What the flip do you think I was doing with it, propping up a table? Doing this. Hold on. Where did this thing come from? Can we get a paper towel? Sorry, I had a bug on my desk. I was doing some demon flippinology.
The investigator is here.
Who gave it to you? A stranger we met through this already. It's where your memory fails. Don't get cute. Come back later. I'll be back later. Talk to Yuri. Give me a minute to run. Full speed ahead. Somebody could fit through that easily. You wanna hang? For you more of a Pop-Tart? What did I do like that? Push it out. Come to chat, Yuri. What now?
Oh, I'm glad
You gonna be ambitious? A statement or a question? Why are you like this? What? Don't be arrogant, Yuri. You know what? People use language correctly when addressing their betters. Betters, I am now secretary of the leader of the syndicate. Temporary leader, maybe it certainly makes me have a higher station than an exiled freak.
I have a bad feeling
Titles don't
about
make you a
this.
better person. Lower class often use that argument. If you that were the case, why am I in position of power and respect and you're not?
I don't
That's
like
something you
this.
earn. Power isn't always a positive quality. Positives of a jealous.
Sure.
Maybe life isn't the best status in acquiring power. Most subjectless thing I've ever heard. Goodbye, freak. Goodbye, Yuri. I heard you're missing a ring, Yuri. What interest is that to you? It's the one. Giving me that? It's a polite snatch. Want to tell me what it's doing in the first place in KHX's dead body? I have no idea. Made it for me and I lost it. Someone probably found it and gave it to him, recognizing his work.
Sure.
Probably. Anything else you want to tell me? I don't know anything else, freak.
Why?
Why'd you shut the boat trips down early, Yuri? Business is yours. Just answer the question. Part of the shutting down the island ready for the end. It really happens, and it never normally happens. None of these other systems were shut down prematurely. Which now I do my job, freak. Let some security worries and shut it down.
When love
Did it have
dies,
anything to do with the
all
dead
that
body at the bottom of
remains
the
are the
cliff?
What?
What dead body?
How?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but surely this is jurisdiction. This is the jurisdiction of the marshals, supposed to be investigating the council murder.
need to
It
investigate.
might be linked.
Time is
Do you have
running
anything to do with it?
No.
Definitely not, freak. A lot of bad coincidences then. Must be. Have you ever visited the library vaults from time to time? For work or personal use? What does it matter? If you've seen some leads, the vault contains a forbidden text about demonology. Demon is perpetrated or purported to have possessed a citizen and murdered the council.
Don't make me laugh.
It also contains other books. I am the architect's secretary. Occasionally requires records and text for her work. You didn't take books in demonology?
Pathetic.
Or is demonology and architecture sound the same to you, freak? No, why a book that you took from the library what was intended to be safe? Nothing to do with me.
Is this a fact?
Henry says a stranger passed him a forbidden book and told him to keep it a secret. The book is the one you access. I'm sure you can prove that, freak. If I remember correctly, the library vaults only record entry and exit. Now what? The rebels are taken. You just happen to know that? No, freak, I don't just happen to know that. I just use the vault to acquire books for the architect. I know how the system works because I use it often. Access the library vault and give forbidden books to the knowledge of Henry? No.
Facts and
You're only one of the
truths
suspects who
are
accessed the
not.
vault.
Pathetic.
Doesn't mean the book came from me. The Grand Marshal last night? Didn't see her, freak. Didn't see Crimson last night. I knew she was ready to pick up, but I left her until the end. She hates it here, and I had the power to make her wait a little longer, so I did. Is there anything else you can tell me about Henry's movements last night?
Don't be sly.
Seriously, did I need to hold your hand? Go and speak to Grand Marshal. What do you know about the escape last night?
Business
What would I know?
of yours.
Alright, I'm gonna go hang out with Carmelita. We didn't get any new information from him anyway, I don't think. So, why am I taking the whatever? Can you pet our dog again?
Halt! What do you want, Fruit? Are you
I don't like this.
I think Carmelita never having the most annoying entrance. Well, no, Henry and Kiko do have you beat. Maybe. Can I ask something, Architect? Can I help Lady Love dies?
Sure.
This island has an air of quietude.
We have achieved
Indeed it does, there is a balance here. Where does the balance come from? Positioning a function creates form. Functions of the island are arranged as a diamond and a compass. Everything has a place only it can have. This is apparent. Architect that is scared of function and tries to hide it away is a coward with narrow taste. Surely there's more of an artistic degree form. An artist that doesn't respect their tools or appreciate their canvas is no artist. One must work with everything they have and understand the facet, every tool, and every imperfection can bring it to a piece.
Craft is its own reward.
The facade, whatever. The circumstances you find yourself. I've been reading for hours through the company's Slack. Of course, terrible, but I do hope you enjoy your time exploring this island.
I'm glad.
Thank you for your time, architect. Talk to me.
Crime
Can you
cannot
think of
hide.
anyone that would want to strike against the council?
I
Asking
am
such a
the
thing as
leader.
dreadful investigator. Their prime suspect is behind bars and needs to be
This is
executed.
nonsense.
All of us are loyal members of the syndicate. I can't think of anyone that would commit a crime like this.
Don't.
What about you yourself? Or do you have any reason to commit murder?
How dare
Absolutely not. How dare you,
Don't
investigator?
touch me.
Is there anyone that can think of you a reason for you? I'm being anything judge might made a mistake bringing you back. Architect, what do you know about the crime last night? Only what we were told by the Grand Marshal in the crisis meeting.
Do your job.
On your broke free and murdered the council. While the citizen have enough motive and ability to kill the council, breaching all the holy seals.
What?
That's not for me to question. I'm surprised there's any question at all. Do you believe you did it? Of course, and so should you. You're a disgrace. You finish this quickly and maybe the next council will look favorably on you. Do you feel like you aren't being rewarded enough for your hard work, architect? What do you mean by that?
Sure.
I have heard that there is a suspicion that you feel like you're aggrieved by all your hard work building this island is not being rewarded with a seat in the council.
Craft
I
is
do not
its own
require a reward for my craft. The craft is its own reward.
Do your job.
Are you trying to build a motive for me?
I
That's
was
my job.
born to
You're going
investigate.
down the wrong path. Titles and power are my desires. What can you tell me about yourself? Imposed isolation 25 years ago.
Do your
I
job.
have no idea why something I did 25 years ago is any concern. What were you doing? You said it was for a project, but no one has ever seen it. What came of it? What I choose to do is something you would need to concern yourself with.
Where?
Where were you last night?
We have achieved
Visiting witness.
perfection.
His role is to oversee the end of the island. The last moments are best enjoyed with an old friend. Do you often visit witness? Not in recent times. Our paths diverged.
That's
Then why last night? For so long he has been integral to my art. Every island has failed and he has been born witness to the end of each one. This may be the last time an island ends. If Island 25 is perfect, there will be no more endings to watch.
Craft is
I wanted to
its
say
own
goodbye to
reward.
old art.
The
What time did you
investigator
arrive?
is here.
About 9 p.m. Logsman's department should be able to confirm that. Well, we were also concerned about the logs. I will check the logs to confirm your location as expected. I'll see if you question as well when Judge summoned us for the crisis meeting sometime after midnight. What if I said there was a secret transdimensional corridor crisscrossing the island?
Craft is
Say
its
that
own
you spent too
reward.
long in the scorching sun, so you don't know anything about them. I have no idea what you're talking about. To be clear, you were denying crafting secret corridors and hiding a killer within them? Of course I am. That's totally unbelievable and think you need to rest, investigator. Crime doesn't rest, nor do I. Let's see you explain this away in the trials. Explain what? Total fantasy? We'll see. How was witness last night? Anything strange?
This is
Wasn't
nonsense.
happy I was there. He seemed agitated.
That's
How
strange.
did this behavior manifest? His mask lets you see more than he thinks he does. Surprise, confusion, worry. Do you think he was involved with the murder? That's not for me to say. I'm just trying to be helpful.
I beg your pardon.
Investigator, can we discuss something of delicate nature? After I do everything else? Is your real last night? He's my secretary investigator. It would be strange when I not seen him. So that was before you went to the witness department? Yes, we concluded our business for the day and he left to deal with the fairy woman from the celebratory gardens.
I have no idea.
Investigator, can we discuss something? I know, we're gonna do it. When did you go to Henry's exorcism?
We have
Why did you
achieved
go?
perfection.
I have an acute interest in preventing the islands from succumbing to demonic corruption. It is rare to be able to see the effects of the possession firsthand. Tell me about the message you sent to Akiko telling her to leave Grace alone with Henry. I have no idea what message you're talking about, investigator. I have a copy of it here. I'm sure this is fabrication. I have no authority over Akiko. Can't order her to do anything, much less break a procedure with something so dangerous. And why did she step out of the room and leave you unattended? I have no idea. You have to ask the Grand Marshal.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll talk to you in a minute. What do you know about the Fourth Holy Seal? Nothing, investigator. Not my place to know. No one knows how to get into the council building when the next island is already built with a new council building. How did the new council get into it? Good question. The seals of the next island cannot be breached. We will rebuild the council building. Perfect next island already sounds less than perfect.
We have achieved
Perfection
perfection.
requires adaptability. We will be adapted with. Hello, Aaron. Is that on the thinking clock? Well, I'm gonna be wrapping up this part. So,
I'm cooking right now.
what are you cooking?
Not that I can't do both. I'm making Parmesan cream sauce
Is everything about just
thing.
like eating farts?
Boogers.
Boogers. A fire booger sandwich.
My fucking controller cord is all wrapped up. Hold on.
Want to tell me what you were doing carving flesh from a god? How dare you accuse me of such a vile crime like that? This is the height of heresy.
There we go.
Ryan Gross said it himself. No such thing happened. I think it did.
Believe what you
Then
want.
you will need some evidence. You were accusing the leader of the syndicate of one of the worst crimes imaginable. Temporary leader. Know anything about demons on the island?
This is not.
Besides the one that resides within the killer? Alleged killer? Nothing has been proven yet. He's still an alleged killer. Quite. The marshal did an exemplary job of wiping the demons out. It was not enough to stop the corruption, though. Can you tell me about the secret panic room experiment? Where did you hear that? People talk. I abandoned that a long time ago. It was designed to be a bunker of sorts. My plan was to dot them around the islands in case of attack. Syndicate members could hide in them. I've been in your bunker. Why was it coated by only the witness's blood vial? This embarrasses me to say that the lovers retreat. Slight the design as a bunker and dropped my plan for them. Sat unused. Spending time there with witness while illicit. Exciting, but things didn't work out. I haven't been in there for years. So I saw the on the logs I pulled from it.
I don't
So you definitely
like
weren't
this.
experimenting on the killer demon in there? Absolutely not.
I have no idea.
Let's
what
get
you're
I'll
talking
talk to you in a
about.
minute. I have other pressing matters. What do you know about KHX's disappearance? It's a mystery. I do hope nothing bad has happened to him. We always enjoy talking. When did you last see him? A couple of weeks ago. My schedule became hectic as we closed down the island. Did you see the Grand Marshal last night?
We have achieved
While I was with
perfection.
Witness, he got a call from Mikiko. You should ask him about it. Thank you. Witness said the same thing. Did you see Crimson last night? I didn't see Miss Acid last night. She's probably in her little den. Go and speak to her. Is there anything else you can tell me about Henry's movements last night?
This is nonsense.
Surely you spoke to the Grand Marshal about that, what he did? Yep. Did you see Lydia and Sam last night? You need to speak to Yuri, investigator. He was Lydia's handler last night. Yep. What did you know about the escape last night? You should speak to the Grand Marshal and investigator. Okay. What did you know about the second Holy Seal? It's one of the biggest mysteries as an investigator. You're the architect and you don't know. Security is the only bit of the island I don't design.
We have achieved perfection.
It's better for the council to design their security and keep the secret to themselves. Do you know anything about the murder of the marshal guards outside of the council building? Losing 5 marshals to a killer like that is a tragedy. Unfortunately, I don't have any further insight for you, investigator. Do you know anything about the third Holy Seal? It's a secret investigator, but without my knowledge. What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago? I'm not sure what help I can be, but Henry was possessed and allowed demons onto their precious island. My hard work was destroyed. The dead zone is a reminder of his crime. Okay, probe. You have something you want to tell me, something you want to tell the investigator? I don't know if it's relevant, but I will just close it. At midnight, Witness was fiddling with his phone. Did you see what he was doing? I didn't. Midnight was when he called when the council was murdered. We were in the middle of a conversation. He abruptly took it out of his phone and started using it, tapping at it for a few seconds. Did he say what it was about? No, we actually nothing happened. Think your architecture is going to throw him under the bus? Miss Helen, go walk with you, and may you reach the moon. I'll go talk to the playboy, who was over this way. Whoa! We gotta get these things going, these hangouts. Dr. Doom Jazz.
Lady Love dies.
Gorgeous as you were 3 million days ago. Born in the Cannon Fortress, Scotland in AD 988 under the sign of the Cosmic Deceit. Growing up during a military campaign, Doom Jazz longed to become a doctor to tend to the wounded. Snuck into the haunted Ziggurat Medical School and studied in the library after hours. He became their top student and battlefield medic. He was captured during the Great Betrayal, losing his arms in the torture chamber before being rescued by Ayaz Kawami. The two fled to join the Syndicate. And Starlight, the perfect pair.
Oh, I'm
Mr. the Doom Jazz charm offensive. And I miss the Love Dying sass. How have you been? Still the same old Doom Jazz? Has been just swell down here, assuming you got the memo about last night?
the investigator.
Something like that. Presume you're here for our business and not for something nicer? Correct.
Got it.
Got a job to do down here. How unfortunate you're in high spirits considering our leader in council have been murdered. We all deal with grief in different ways. Do not be mistaken. I am well aware that this is a catastrophe. I was not one for outwardly displaying misery.
Ooh, the
Would you take on the syndicate on this island?
How?
Keep myself to myself. I'm not interested in the schemes. Exhausting. Drama and politics are drugs. It's best not to get hooked. It's a medical opinion.
Got it.
Tell me all I need to know about the state of this place. Anything else I can help you with? Hang out. Gossip Doc. But all the time in the world for you, you know that. It's been so long since we spent some time together. You still a wine and whiskey woman.
Don't test
Met a
me.
lot of either in this idle lands. One glass with me, enjoy the island for a few minutes before getting back to all the murder I've got. A bottle of freedom that are open. I'm on duty. Working. The offer's there if you change your mind. You're carrying the weight of the syndicate on your shoulders. Don't let it get too much. How it feels to be investigating. How does it feel to be investigating again? I'm back, baby. Time to breathe life back into paradise. Indeed it is.
Sure.
Has the doctor been since his last saw him? Keeping it entertained, you know. A small island, but there's always a way to have fun.
Sure.
I'm sure there is. Only one way to find out.
I have a bad
Relentless, you
feeling
don't give
about
up, do
this.
you? Can you blame me? It was an unforgettable night, Love Dice. Maybe you got some time right now? Each second I spend here allows the truth to sink further into the shadows. Paradise can wait, huh? Can't wait, huh? Feel free to swing by anytime, Love Dice. Keep that in mind.
Wanna play dog?
I'm enraptured by you, Love Dice. Besotted, enthralled. Where is this going? I understand the key to your heart is information you desire the unknown, you desire to know about people. Maybe there's something I can help you with. Probe. Said you might be able to help me? Love Dice, you charmed me. Despite the tragedy of last night, the island is infinitely more radiant now that you're here. Because it's you and I can't get you out of my head, I'll break some ethics. I treated witness for death scream trauma. Started complaining of being able to hear screaming on occasion. We had no idea what the cause was, but it kept happening. Eventually narrowed it down to psychic death screams. And treat headaches? That's a fancy name for headaches. Something like that. When someone dies, they involuntarily emit a death scream and a burst of psychic energy. Normally you can't hear them, but he'd become attuned to them. How? That's still a mystery. I don't know if we'll ever know. He attributes it to the great God's anger. He said doom. It's all doom and gloom, but about us not doing enough to please the gods. Taking as one of the many signs of the end times. What treatment did it take? High strength migraine relief is the only thing that worked. What about during the citizen slaughter ritual at the end of the island? Surely that would be overwhelming. That's different. The priest conducting the ritual channeled the psychic energy released by the slaughter into energy for the gods, dissipated away from the island. Does anyone else suffer from them? We had a case on the island at 15. A syndicate member killed themselves because they kept hearing them. It's Kwame, but no one else on the island? But it was 20 years ago. Am I dying here? Not in the way Witness does. I think demons can probably feel them. Every demon we've encountered has been attuned to psychic energy. Would this include the demonically possessed? Probably, but I can't say for sure. How would it affect them? I'd imagine a spike in adrenaline. Anything about else about Witness? I've been worried about his mental health. Become secretive and guarded, manifesting in the standard ways, but multiple appointments with him have been interrupted by phone calls. He won't take a call with someone in the room and always steps out to his balcony. Other people have reported the same thing. Who? Architect Carmelina? Started noticing this several years ago. She's worried that he was slipping into paranoia.
That's weird.
Why are you suddenly telling me this? It's been playing in my mind. I've been thinking about last night and the lunatics we have on the island. Then the heavens sent an angel to come and question me. Thank you, Doctor. You've been invaluable. Remember to hurry back if you need an examination or anything. Oh, you think Henry did this, Doc? You read my report? Everything in it lined up with the official version of events? Well, there you go then. Okay. There's my Pop-Tart. Okay, okay. You didn't answer my questions. All I can tell you, I don't speculate on suspicions or hunches. I'm looking for facts. You make an exception for me.
What?
You want to speak to me when you want something law dies. This hurts.
Sorry.
I want to stop by more often. We'll outright them. We don't know what the skills are, right? I don't think it'd be that Henry happened to be able to get through all of them, isn't it? You don't think he did it? I didn't say that. I just mean there are some missing facts. And where you have the missing facts, you have doubt.
Lady Love died.
What do you think about it?
The facts and the
It'd be a nice story. People
are
like to
not the
believe the
same.
easiest answer that fits their worldview.
Ooh,
Kidnap citizens to force them to pray on the genocidal gods. Of course, the syndicate would believe one of the vile working class would do this.
I have a bad feeling.
Something else at work here? Well, at least you have a working theory.
Who?
Tell any, think of anyone that got some motive? Biggie is such a terrible
This
crime.
is bad.
I don't know anything about it. Everyone is as innocent or as guilty as each other. What's this with a photo of a Kiko in your boat?
The island is a
None of your business,
protected
investigator. But
That's not
it's none of your
nice.
business to leave it. I've been told you are in love with a Kiko.
What?
Assume you pay for that secret. None of your business or anyone else's. Nothing to do with your case. Would you kill the council for revenge for the death of your father? I got some guts coming on my yachts, fleeing bullcrap like that around. I'm doing my job, Doc. I'm not a killer, never have been. Never will be, regardless of what happened to my father. Even if it was putting Kiko in harm's way.
This is bad.
Jumping to some pretty big conclusions, or is also my goodwill. Personal life and feelings are none of your business.
That's not
I
nice.
kill the council, and there's nothing that was role that would make me be a killer. Battlefield medic, but didn't carry a weapon. Nightmares of death, and do not intend to inflict it on anyone else, no matter what.
What?
Our session is over. Specific, I didn't think you were one anyway. Let me hydrate. Time of the murder? Where were you at the time of the murder? I was in my clinic until I was called to examine Henry. I was found outside of the council. He was found outside the council building, blood everywhere. I checked him over. Akiko was my asthma report for you. Go and see if you haven't already. Syndicate building longest to confirm my alibi. By the door?
Don't test
The
me.
back door to your clinic?
Oh,
Connection to the Nightmare Council and the logs who enters and exits the Syndicate HQ has been broken. Is it really? I had no idea. Sure you didn't. Did you see Yuri last night? Yuri last night, Yuri night last night? Heh. Didn't see him last night. I'm afraid love dies. Tell me about the inhibitors you used to sedate Henry. Not your hero heavy industries tech. Drugs that sedate the body and inhibit psychic ability. They were designed specifically for victims of demonic possession and calm the body and mind to stop them from lashing out. Henry's dosage level has been corrected for the last decade.
the investigator.
Do you know if anything can
is
interfere
here.
with Henry's inhibitors?
Hypothetical.
You're not the first person to ask. Love dies. Who witness? Investigator. Witness is responsible for overseeing the end of the island and ensuring it all goes smoothly. Obsessed with fail points in the process, he got worried that Henry could be a fail point. Could he get loose at the end? He's executed and not part of the slaughter ritual. Give the citizens there's a time when he's out of his cage before he's executed. Hiko handles the execution, so he's in safe hands. Witness got obsessed about the inhibitors that kept Henry sedated.
The investigator.
Are
is
they a
here.
fail point? Possibly, but you have to go past the Grand Marshal. You need a massive spike of adrenaline, and the only way I can think of is to provide that would be an injection. Someone have done that? Adrenaline is manufactured by the body. You need a drug to induce it artificially. Blood work came back clean though. No one gave him that drug. Hiko thinks the demon tricked the inhibitors, and that's how Henry escaped. Certainly a theory. This is a good one. There's no proof, but I can't say anything without proof. Never encountered this phenomenon before, but every race of demons is different. Worth considering, but you need to try and find proof before relying on the theory. Keep that in mind. What about the death screams? Could they cause an adrenaline burst? Maybe, but I don't know how you would weaponize a death scream. What about one of these?
How?
Looks like it was records death screams. Is that a directional speaker?
That's it.
It is. How would you record a death scream? Could you record the brain activity using electrodes? The device looks like it has a crystal on it. Some crystals are capable of recording the motions. Death scream gets written to that. Under upon stimulation, the crystal would output a scream. It's a one-shot use though. You can see that crystal is burnt out. Never experienced that death scream. So I'm not a sufferer. Presume you want my opinion though. Demon that possessed Henry is attuned to psychic energy. This could have been used to agitate it. Handy if you wanted to turn Henry into a weapon. I still think it's witnessing Carmelina. I don't know what Sam and freaking Lydia were up to. He was examining Grace's bloodlines when Henry killed her, right, Doc? And I see what, and I think that what's called working for him? Yuri? Nasty one for sure. Was there anything odd about the scene or the victim? You mean odd for the case of demonic possession? I didn't get to examine the scene for long. Kiko was in a rush to contain the area and it was pretty open to showcase. Markings on Grace were strange though. In what way? Henry's other victim's mother had the same sigils scorched into her skin as Henry. Grace had those sigils, but they weren't scorched. They looked like they had been carved with a blade. Demon inside Henry burned with a cosmic fire, and Henry's victims received the same burning. If he killed the council, they'd all carry the sigils. Depends on how we did it. I don't have a lot of evidence to support this, but I expect the sigils to only be scorched on victims he had to stay in close contact with. Cut and run probably wouldn't do it, but a strangulation would. Something I would expect the inhibitors to prevent or limit the scorching of those sigils into victims. Why were Grace's sigils cut into her? Wrote it off as the madness of a demonic possession? We don't know a whole lot about the kind of thing, so I figured he carved them himself in some kind of ritual. Can't say for sure though. Thanks for the help, Doc. What do you know about the photo taken of Grace's throat during your examination? Took photos, but they were confiscated by Akiko, classified or whatever. Found one of them the Marshall servers. Can get your opinion on it. The bruising on the throat looks odd. From behind, fingers that did it aren't uniform. Remote strangulation, bruising, you can see areas of pressure from the fingertips and the knuckles. Pressure on these is misaligned. This is normally because the attacker is wearing jewelry. Specifically in this case, a ring in their wedding ring finger. What about power armor? No gauntlets on the Marshals' power armor, gloves with armor plates on top of their hands. Who wears a wedding ring? Or wore a wedding ring? A wedding ring? This was 10 years ago. Did you examine the dead guards at the first Holy Seal? Nope, Kiko wouldn't let me.
That's strange.
Why? It's a military jurisdiction. Didn't want the corpses of their soldiers disrespected with the post-mortem. Even though there could be evidence. In her mind, she's already got the case solved. Henry's behind bars and he did it. Do you believe that? I'm not much into belief love dies, waiting to see what truth you find. Any database of DNA or blood samples for everyone on the island? You want to run some blood? Which could help, but just at the crisis meeting last night, parts of the central server started corrupting. Okay, that's convenient, isn't it? Became aware of it because the terminal in my lab does an automated backup in the early hours. Got a report that the backup failed. I took a look at it and the part of the medical archive has been corrupted. What about the backup of the central server on the moon? That went down as well. The corruption spread. Not to all the moon database, but I can still access most of the files on there. Where is the server on the island? In the caverns underneath the island. Master Hero Heavy Industries maintains it. Only entrance into the cavern is via the D factory, and that's under lockdown. Why? The factory is shut down at the end of the island. Only 4 people can unlock it. Council member Makine Origin and Master Hero, but her dead body is up in the council penthouse. Same with Pandora 2. She rented Nebula in the D factory. Nicolina Rose is second in command of the Nebula, but they're on the next island. Lydia took them early on. And Balthazar Tears was Makan's assistant at Master Hero, but he's on the next island as well. Go to 25th Island and bring Nicolina and Balthazar back. And they can open the D factory and I can find out what the heck's going on with that server. Once the fast love dies, no one leaves the island. Justice orders. Besides, you need Lydia to take you to the next island, and she's on your list of suspects, isn't it? That right? Yes. What do we do about the server? 2 options: chalk it up to bad luck and coincidence, or let it fuel a dreadful, all-consuming conspiracy. First option seems less stressful. Keep on trucking, love dies. Knock the third Holy Seal was a blood lock coded to the council blood. Makes sense. Who's got council blood? I missed a trick question. Love dies only the council. What if that wasn't true? Are you asking if someone if secretly had council blood? At the stretch, love dies. What about you? Do you keep samples of council blood? I do for medical reasons. The lockdown though. Could someone have taken one? Under high security?
Sure.
Anything suspicious recently? Nope. Anyone been in your clinic who shouldn't be in there recently? Nope. Although I did catch Sam in there, picking up his prescription though. You check that council blood samples are all accounted for. Let me just pull up the inventory on my phone. Sorry, the app is taking ages to load. There's one missing, but the security alarm didn't go off. Whose sample is missing? Catholic memories? Yes, we know that. Now I'm only with Catholic's login on the blood block. This is bad, love guys. You don't need to tell me. But you and or Sam at the scene.
I had nothing to do with this.
I had nothing to do with this. A blood sample from your clinic was found in the seal. You found Sam snooping into your clinic. Maybe he took the sample and used it? Well, sure as heck wasn't me. You got this wrong. Why don't we know who Henry's father is? You mean why wasn't the track like every other birth? You're a doctor after all. Would you keep birth? She said she didn't know who the father was. What about DNA? The test came back
I
blank.
have a bad feeling
Isn't that
about
concerning?
this.
Very, not a lot I can do though. Why would a DNA test come back blank? We missed someone and didn't have them recorded. I don't think this is an important love diet. I'm not sure how this relates to the council
The
murder.
investigator
Was
is
someone deliberately kept the birth a secret? Why would they do that? Someone having an affair that shouldn't be? It's a possibility, but they need some high-level clearance for that.
I'm glad to
Or
be
access to you. That's quite the accusation, investigator. Did you give Sam blood? Yes, I do. He has a. Did you give Sam blood? He has a rare condition. You might have noticed that he has no flesh and his skeleton is bright red. Council approved letting him have citizen blood that is let in the temple. Developed the condition a few sequences ago. I suspect that his body is starting to give out. I think Eyes Kwame is Henry's father. What? Blood samples match? The only place you could have got that blood sample Kwame's blood is from his grave. You broke into my best friend's grave to get a blood sample. You just desecrate the resting place of someone considered a brother to run around with some conspiracy theory. We're done here. Like your investigator, and I'll help you with any genuine lines that require you. But I won't tolerate this. Okay, that's nice. That is nice. What do you know about KHX's disappearance? Heard that he was missing. Keeps himself to himself, so I don't see him a lot. Been up to this place on the cliffs. See Grand Marshal last night, and saw Kiko after the murder. When I examined Henry, can help you with anything before that will dies. Have you spoken to Kiko? Did you see Carmelina? Did you see the architect last night? She said at the crisis meeting that she was at Witness's apartment. Witness can probably tell you more. Did you see Crimson last night? She has her little emporium. Go ask her. Is there anything you can tell me about Henry's motives last night? Or movements last night? Spoken to Kiko, right? She'll tell you what he did. See Lydia and Sam last night? I wasn't in my clinic all night and didn't see them. Lydia should have been in contact with Yuri though. You see Witness at the end last night? I don't know what he was doing, but he normally is in the apartment last night of the island. Go ask him. What do you know about the second Holy Seal? Not a thing love dies, council business. What do you know about the fourth Holy Seal? Not a thing love dies, council okay. Know anything about the demons of the island? What are you talking about? Love dies. The marshals killed them all, didn't they? We know about the Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago. Don't know what to tell you. Love dies. Are clearly possessed, and that wasn't his arrest 10 years ago. Think there's something suspicious. Try the crime scene. His apartment is in the dead zone. I'll be back. Unless Aaron comes back and we switch over to Destiny, then I won't be back. Frick. Yuri. Witness is too. I kind of forgot you were up there. Got time to chat, Yuri? What do you want, freak? What kind of music do you like, Yuri? Good at properly addressed question. Why do you want to know? I want to get to know you. Have you been drinking, freak? Do you have any interest? I do enjoy some music, classical music that improves your mind. Studies show that the impact of listening to classical music only lasts for 10 minutes. There aren't any long-term effects. Quite. Goodbye, freak. Goodbye, Yuri. Did you see the architect last night? I saw the architect before I started my duties with the fairy woman. Should ask her about the time of the murder, though I was there. Did you see the doctor last night? He said he was at the clinic. Ask him, not me. Thank you. Crumbelina. Here for your puppy. Then go to Henry to finish off his stuff. His hangout.
Halt! What do you want?
Let me in.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this. Anything new in here?
Sure.
Are you sure you were with the witness last all? Are you sure you were with the witness all night? Yes, all night, and you didn't leave him for a moment. You have something you wish to ask, investigator? What about when Kiko called them? Didn't you leave the room? Either leave the room to take the call on the balcony, and people leave the room for other reasons as well.
Do your job.
Do you wish for me to recall each time either of us went to the bathroom? Yes, please. When I looked at like he was in pain when the council were
This is
murdered.
nonsense.
You know about his illness? When it suffers greatly whenever someone dies in the islands because he, might be the citizen or syndicate member. Last night he doubled over in pain and breathless in agony. Suffers so much when there is death. Did you see the doctor last
We have
night?
achieved
Didn't at the
perfection.
crisis meeting he said he was in the clinic. Hang out. Let me pet your puppy. Ask you something, Architect?
It is cowardly
What's the point of all these
to
questions, Investigator? Investigator needs to understand the suspects, not just for facts about the case.
Wrath is
What do
its
you
own
want to know?
reward.
What did you do as the architect?
We have achieved
Crafting enable
perfection.
dreams. Each island needs to be thoroughly designed, planned every square inch. In centuries, islands are given form by the council's psychic will, as mute that psychic and with will into my physical form. Anyone be an architect? No one has shown any ability outside of the Silence family. If it was a part of the Silent Goat's blessing when the syndicate was formed, it is somewhere to live outside of the real world. How do you transmute the council's will? Never been able to describe it, just as a feeling. When they meditate and envisage the island, I'm able to open psychic pathways to the new reality and let the island take shape. And the kid would be lost without you.
Wrath is its own
Deserve.
reward. I have no idea.
Investigator,
what
can we
you're
discuss
talking
something of
about.
delicate matter? Something you want to tell me? Something concerns me about the witness. As some of us become more complicated over let it go on. I know about his stinking illness, man. I'm aware. I can see it behind his mask. He's changed since I've been gone. Witness has become gripped with religious hysteria, believes that we have strayed too far from the path. Montserrat wanted to protect the new island from the tighter grip of the syndicate. Witness's eyes, our leader, was not placing enough importance on resurrecting the gods. Montserrat was furthering the syndicate, not our only
I
mission.
don't like this.
It does make him the sinner.
Do your job.
When we short-sighted, the syndicate are hampered by demonic invasion and deaths of our homes. Montreal was playing a longer game, build a perfect island, rule perfectly, and then focus on the gods. Our divided attention was getting us nowhere. When it had grown infuriated with Montserrat, they were laid banging dogs in the syndicate meetings. We just voted against every one of Montserrat's proposals. Anything else? When a man becomes complicated, he often withdraws. Witness is no different, he needed time with his thoughts. Sanctuary was his apartment. It became rare to see him. I have wondered what he does up there.
Sure.
Privacy more than usual. You would almost never see him. We would almost never see him. He would only leave his apartment to attend syndicate meetings. Only then it was to scream religious proclamations at us. That was one of the reasons I didn't want to see him last night. I was worried. I needed to know if he was fine with the final end of the island. Thank you for your candor, Architect. Goodbye, Architect. Talk to you in a little bit. Let's go see Henry. The workers secure corridors across the island that contained a killer. The criminal set this plan up years ago. Really a perfect plan. If the judge hadn't summoned me, she might have got away with it. We can still get away with it too if she doesn't present the right evidence. If I don't present the right evidence, this is a bizarre case. I do have all the information as of right now, but I still want to talk to everybody. Get all the hangouts done. Not yet, okay. You see through a million eyes. I mean, yours is the moon. Yeah. Scoozy, scoozy. Dead. Okay, just don't do it. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. I'll take the actual path. It's not working anymore. Now it is. Okay. You wanna hang out? I'm gonna hit my guts now, but you wanna hang out? How's the investigation going? Caught any bad guy yet? Think I got some handcuffs somewhere around here if you need them. How many people have you used them on? Only a few special ones. I'm not settled down then. I'm the kind of guy, too much to experience. It's my island, not that much to experience. Every person is unique, each island has a lot of new people. Relationships with citizens are forbidden. Do you want me to get the handcuffs? Want to take me in? Replace your arms. Let's topic change. Updated model by MHI. They have improved haptics in the fingers. Strictly for medical purposes, I'm sure. Want to test them? Especially I'm trying to solve a mass murder. Let me know if you change your mind. Goodbye, Doc. I'm enraptured by you, Love Dies. Besotted, enthralled. Yeah.
Like this.
You've got this wrong.
Oh, you want to get a probe? Is something you want to tell me, investigator?
Bad.
Tell the investigator. He was in trouble. She's been missing business for pleasure. Council found out. Planning on stripping her of 30 on the next island. This is about her relationship with Captain Wolf.
Huh?
So you know.
The fact
He told you. Eyes cool on me. A while before he died, he got loose lipped after a drink.
Sure.
Who told you, Kiko? I got loose lipped around a woman in power armor. Thank you, Doctor. What do we have for hangouts? Henry has one more. Carmelina has 2 more. Max has 2. Yuri has 2 more. Doom has 3 more. Witness has 4 more. Okay, I'm gonna talk to the witness. Sorry, where's the witness again? In this apartment. It's one of the yellow houses, right? That house? Oh, it's that one, right? Is it this? Yeah, it's that one. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Witness to the end. Want to chat, witness? I must warn you that I am not one for long conversations. How are your plans, witness? They do well in the climate of paradise when the world is coming apart. It's good to have a hobby. Would you like the one? I'd like to give them to people. They're difficult to care for. They are a test sent. Plants, not plants. This is sent from the gods. If we fail to look after them, then we will die. They will die. If they all die, then we will all die. Plants need our time and devotion, so so do our gods. Absolutely. Maddening rare plant obtained. The plant has been freshly fertilized and watered. It comes from an esoteric plateau from my home in Iran. It will survive for a while without constant attention. Once you finish your investigation, it will provide something for you to focus on. Thank you, witness. I am enjoying your conversations, Lady Love Dies. Sensitive matter which we could discuss further.
Sure.
Need something you want to tell me about the investigator? It's about Akiko's phone call after Henry escaped. I can see you're working hard, Love Dying, so I'll tell you this. I was worried that you were doing this for yourself and not the gods, but I am bound to help you. Are you ready, brother?
Oh, good. I thought you were gonna be done and just sitting around waiting for me. I'm glad you had something to do while you were.
I was
good.
just
Yeah, I'm good.
going until you were done. This was just dialogue. Akiko was supposed to be that dissolution cell that I couldn't hear the haunting sounds of that island, or the city that surrounds it. Okay, thank you for that. What does that mean? Everything? Nothing? You need to work that out. Gods wish you didn't know, so now you know. I don't trust a word that comes out of your mouth. I'm gonna save the game. Where's the nearest phone? Finish this game tomorrow. Save. Slot 1. Yes. Okay. Let's boot up Destiny.